Open your kitchen, and you'll see burger, pizza, or fruits. Almost everything inside came from somewhere else. Now imagine eating only what can be grown, caught, gathered, or hunted within walking or canoe distance of your home. The rainforest has to provide everything. That sounds easy because the Amazon looks like an endless wall of life. But endless life does not mean endless food. Many plants are bitter, fibrous, poisonous, seasonal, or too high in the canopy to reach. A person without local knowledge could starve while surrounded by green. So what do remote Amazon communities actually eat? There is no single Amazon diet. Hundreds of indigenous peoples live across different rivers, forests, and soils, and each has its own knowledge and traditions. But many food systems combine four things: gardens, fishing, hunting, and gathering. The surprising foundation is often not meat. It is a root that can poison you if prepared incorrectly. Cassava, also called manioc or yucca, was domesticated by indigenous peoples in South America thousands of years ago. It grows beneath the soil, tolerates difficult tropical conditions, and supplies valuable carbohydrates. In many Amazon communities, it plays the role that bread, rice, or potatoes play elsewhere. But some cassava varieties contain cyanogenic compounds that can release cyanide. Eating them without correct processing can cause severe poisoning. Amazonian knowledge transformed that dangerous root into dependable food. The roots are peeled and grated into wet pulp. That pulp may be washed, fermented, or packed inside a long woven basket press. As the press stretches, it squeezes liquid from the cassava. The remaining material can be sifted and roasted over fire into flour or baked into flat bread. Grating breaks the root apart. Pressing removes liquid. Fermentation and heating reduce the remaining toxins. What looks like a simple meal is actually biotechnology preserved through generations. And cassava is rarely grown alone. Forest gardens may contain plantains, bananas, sweet potatoes, yams, peppers, pineapples, and useful palms. Different crops mature at different times, so one failed harvest does not destroy every food source at once. The garden is not a miniature modern farm with perfect rows. It can resemble part of the forest because plants of different heights and uses grow together. Heavy rain may damage one crop while another survives. A dry period may hurt shallow roots while cassava remains underground. Families also maintain knowledge of which varieties taste best, mature fastest, or survive certain soils. But carbohydrates alone cannot build a complete diet. Bodies also need protein and fat. That is where rivers, streams, and forest animals become essential. In many river-based communities, fish may appear beside cassava again and again. Yet the Amazon River system never stays still. Water rises into the forest, falls back into channels, and moves fish across enormous distances. So catching dinner requires more than dropping a line. It requires knowing the season, the water, the species, and the exact place each one will move. And when the river gives nothing, the community must know what else the forest is hiding. When the river gives nothing, dinner does not disappear, it changes. In the Amazon, fishing is not one skill. It is a calendar written in water. During lower water, fish may be concentrated in channels, pools, and shrinking lakes. When floods enter the forest, many species scatter between submerged roots and fruiting trees. The same fishing place can be productive one month and nearly empty the next. Experienced fishers watch current, watercolor, floating fruit, bird activity, moonlight, and the movement of particular species. They know where fish feed, where they rest, and when they begin migrating. That knowledge determines the tool. Different techniques work in different seasons, and using the wrong one can waste hours of energy the community cannot easily replace. Some peoples use hooks, woven traps, plant fiber nets, spears, or arrows. Others build temporary barriers that guide fish into narrow openings. The Anawane of Brazil are known for carefully engineered fishing dams used during seasonal movements. These are not random piles of wood. They are structures built with an understanding of current, fish behavior, and timing. The catch may include catfish, piranhas, pacu, armored fish, or many other species depending on the river. Fish can be roasted whole, boiled, smoked, or wrapped in leaves near the fire. Beside cassava, it creates a meal of carbohydrates, protein, and fat. But not every Amazon community lives beside a large river. Deeper between rivers, hunting can become more important. A hunter does not simply walk into the trees hoping an animal appears. They read hoof marks, claw scratches, droppings, broken fruit, sleeping places, and calls above the canopy. They remember which trees are producing fruit, because animals remember them too. A fruiting tree can become a living map of future meals. Depending on the people and region, hunted animals may include peccaries, pacas, agoutis, tapirs, armadillos, monkeys, birds, tortoises, or caimans. That list does not mean every community eats every animal. Food rules differ sharply. An animal prized by one people may be avoided by another because of spiritual beliefs, kinship stories, health rules, or respect for certain life stages. This is why calling it one Amazon diet misses the point. Food is biological, but it is also cultural. A successful hunt creates another problem. Warm rainforest air spoils meat quickly. Large animals cannot be kept for long without work. So meat may be shared, cooked, smoked, or eaten across several households. Sharing prevents waste and spreads the uncertain rewards of hunting. Today, one family returns with food. Tomorrow, another may do the same. The forest also provides meals that do not run or swim. People gather fruits, nuts, seeds, palm hearts, mushrooms, honey, and edible leaves. Amazon palms are especially valuable. Depending on location, their fruits can provide oils, carbohydrates, vitamins, and strong flavors. Acai, peach palm, buriti, patawa, and tucumar are only a few examples, not a universal menu. Brazil nuts arrive inside hard, heavy pods that fall from towering trees. Opening them requires tools, effort, and caution. Wild honey is another concentrated prize. Finding it may mean reading the movement of stingless bees and reaching nests hidden high in trunks. The reward is dense energy that can be eaten directly or mixed with other foods. Then there are insects. To many outsiders, this sounds like desperation. It is not. Research among Amazonian peoples has documented ants, termites, caterpillars, wasp larvae, beetles, and palm weevil larvae as chosen foods. Palm weevil larvae grow inside decaying palm tissue. They are soft, rich in fat and protein, and may be roasted, cooked, or eaten according to local tradition. Some communities even manage cut palms to encourage the larvae to develop. That is not scavenging. It is a form of food production. Children learn where to search, which species are safe, and when each appears. A forest fruit may last only weeks. A fish migration may pass once. A swarm of edible insects may arrive and vanish. Survival depends on connecting those separate moments into one continuous year. But the moment food reaches the shelter, another countdown begins. Heat, moisture, insects, and bacteria start taking it back. So how does a community save today's catch for the day when every trap returns empty? The first answer is surprisingly simple. They do not try to save everything. Fresh fish and meat are cooked quickly, divided and eaten before the heat can spoil them. A large catch becomes safer when many people share it. What cannot be eaten immediately may be roasted slowly, smoked above the hearth, or dried when conditions allow. Smoke reduces moisture and discourages insects. Cassava solves the storage problem differently. Fresh roots are heavy and perishable, but processed flour is drier, lighter, and easier to keep. The same plant can become flatbread, porridge, or in some communities, a fermented drink. Among the Awajun, masato made from cassava is an important food and drink. This is not one recipe shared across the Amazon. Nothing is separated from knowledge. A child has to learn which fruit is ripe, which larva is edible, which fish arrives with rising water, and which cassava needs longer processing. One mistake can mean hunger. Another can mean poisoning. Meals carry memory. That memory also teaches hunters not to empty the nearby forest. If fish are caught at the wrong time or gardens are neglected, the shortage arrives later. So what do Amazon rainforest people eat? Cassava and plantains. Fish and wild meat. Palm fruits, nuts, honey, insects, roots, and leaves. But the real answer is knowledge. The forest hides meals underground, in trees, inside palms, beneath dark water, and behind animal tracks. To an untrained person, it is only endless green. To people who understand it, every season reveals a different table. Your kitchen keeps food alive by controlling temperature. Their food system keeps people alive by reading the landscape, sharing what it provides, and remembering what must come next. The rainforest is not simply their surroundings. It is their garden, river, hunting ground, classroom, and calendar.